Peace. I'm Rami Salam El. This lesson is about correcting misunderstandings regarding the Holy Koran Circle 7 and also with regard to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Before I get into the information specifically, I wanted to read you an email that I sent on the 25th of January 2012. Peace. Off the top, I gotta say thank you, my brother. I've been on a search for truth, and one person led to another, which led me to you. You have dropped so much info that has helped me put the pieces together. So thank you. I'm from Oakland, California, and was wondering if, one, you have any events out this way? If so, could I have some more information? And if not, would you be interested in making it out this way? I feel your message can really connect with the young brothers and sisters out here because you got the knowledge and you understand that economics is what gets our attention. I have so much to say that I'm not sure where to start. I do know we shall cross paths in the future, my brother. Until then, keep representing and shining for the people. Peace and love. I sent that to Brother Polight because I was very inspired by a lot of the information he's been bringing. Thank you. I do mean this. So first I'm going to play you the clip of the debate, and then afterwards we're going to analyze some of the claims that has been made by Brother Polight. We're going to get some clarification.
So, Noble Drew Ali has an excerpt in his Quran that he brought to his people. It says, in these modern days there came a forerunner of Jesus who was divinely prepared by the great God Allah, and his name is Marcus Garvey, who did teach and warn the nations of the earth to prepare to meet the coming prophet, who was to bring the true and divine creed of Islam, and his name is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared and sent to this earth by Allah. So Drew Ali says he was sent to this earth by Allah, of course from the book that he gave to his community. I love Noble Drew Ali, don't think I'm trying to bang on him, I'm just saying this. He said that Marcus Garvey was his forerunner for this thing called Islam, to bring him in. Let's see what Marcus Garvey said. It gets good. Let's see what Marcus Garvey said. Please. Well, Marcus Garvey says in Chicago, March 1917, in Champion magazine, the Negro is crying for a Muhammad, a prophet, to come forth and give him the Quran of economic and intellectual welfare. Where is he? So how can they be contradicting each other? Go to the next one. See, when I get upset because I find these things, they will think, he attacked Noble Drew Ali. No, I'm asking the question, just correct it. I'll stand corrected, I'll say I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But as I checked, Marcus Garvey didn't say that. And of course, if we go into the Quran Circle 7 that Noble Drew Ali brought, we'll find that 50% of it comes from the Aquarian Gospel. And the other 50% comes from a thing called Unto Thee I Grant. And if you read this book, they break it down on page 67 by Scott Joseph Farley, A Rhetorical History of Malcolm X. The reason I got an issue with this is because we cannot liberate black people with white psychology. There was a white reverend that came up with that information. But Islam has done so good for the black community. Go to the next slide.
Alright. There's a lot in there, so let's get to work. Right off the top, Brother Polight states that Noble Drew Ali brought his Quran for his people. Now we have to be very careful with words. Noble Drew Ali is listed as the divine preparer of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Noble Drew Ali is not listed as the author. He is not claiming that the words within the Quran are from him, but that he prepared the Quran for us. Further, it is not the Holy Quran of Noble Drew Ali. It is not the Holy Koran Circle 7 of Timothy Drew. It's the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Are we clear? Islam. Furthermore, Brother Polight states that he brought it for his people. Well, who is he referring to when he says his people? Is he speaking about Moors, Moorish Americans, Muslims? You see, he doesn't really clarify who he's referring to. But no worries. In the prologue of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, it states, that the lessons of the Quran are for all of those who love Jesus and desire to know about his life works and teachings. Furthermore, in chapter 36, it states that all nations of the earth in these modern days are seeking peace, and there is but one true and divine way that peace may be obtained in these days, and it is through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice being taught universally to all nations in all lands. So I'm not clear what Polight means when he says his people, but he is mistaken if he thinks it's just for the Moorish Americans, if it's just for the Moors, if it's just for Muslims, if it's just for Muslims. It's for all people, because Noble Drew Ali is a universal prophet. He just came to us because we needed him most. Islam? Alright. Brother Polight continues and quotes from the Holy Koran Circle 7, chapter 48, line 3, in which it states that Marcus Garvey was the forerunner of Noble Drew Ali. He then goes on to read a statement from Marcus Garvey dated in 1917 and is asking the question of where is the prophet of the Negroes. From this, Polight concludes that Marcus Garvey and Drew Ali were contradicting each other. Okay, that's another claim. Let's clarify. This is the Morning Star Spring Series, Volume 3. And on it, you can find this at moorishoaklandstar.wordpress.com, and there will be a link in the description below. And on Volume 3, there's an image of a postcard from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, dated 10/23/1927, from Atlanta, Georgia. And it reads, "Dear wife, I have been to see Mr. Garvey at the federal prison. I will be home Friday or Saturday. Love to all, from your husband, Noble Drew Ali." Further down it reads, "Front cover of the Prophet's postcard to his wife, Sister Pearl Drew Ali, while at the federal prison in Atlanta, Georgia, visiting Marcus Garvey, 1927. That's a little interesting. What does this prove? Well, at the very least, that in 1917, it's possible that Marcus Garvey had not met Drew Ali. But that in itself does not prove that they're contradicting each other. No. Actually, according to historical records, they were unified. Why would Drew Ali go to visit Marcus Garvey? And why, shortly after did Drew Ali visit Marcus Garvey, was Marcus Garvey kicked out of the country? Could it be perhaps that the U.S. government realized that they were linking up together and that movement would have been too strong? Interesting. But we do know the third claim Brother Polight makes is that half of the Holy Koran Circle 7 comes from the Aquarian Gospel, and the other half comes from a book called Into Thee I Grant, The Economy of Life. Again, let me state, Drew Ali is listed as the divine preparer of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. He is not listed as the author. You can't plagiarize something that you're not claiming to have written. First, I will address Into Thee I Grant. On the website archive.org, and you can find the link in the description below, the first page of Into Thee I Grant states, and I quote, "Translated from an Indian manuscript written by an ancient Brahmin." Now if we flip back to the Holy Koran Circle 7, or the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, in the prologue it states very clearly that the reason these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed the secrets. And for the first time in ages have these secrets been delivered in the hands of the Muslims of America. Very simple. And moving on to the Aquarian Gospel. Here's a couple facts that Brother Polight left out of his presentation when he was claiming that Drew Ali plagiarized from a white reverend who, according to Polight, came up with the information. Levi Dowling was in the United States Army. Let me repeat that. Levi Dowling was in the United States Army. The second fact, Levi Dowling himself claimed that he transcribed, not authored, transcribed the information for the Aquarian Gospel from the Akashic records. That's AKASHIC records. Now I'm sure such a well-studied brother as Polight, he knows what the Akashic records are. But just in case you don't know, I did a quick Google search, popped it up on the internet, Wikipedia, and this is what it reads. The Akashic records are a collection of mystical knowledge that is encoded in a non-physical plane of existence known as the astral plane. There is no scientific evidence for the Akashic records. So just to summarize, Brother Polight wants you to believe that Drew Ali, a universal prophet, copied from Levi Dowling, who was an officer in the U.S. Army, who himself claims that he transcribed the information from the astral plane in the sky. Yes, in the sky. Use your minds, people. On one hand, you have the so-called black man who went over to Egypt, Africa, and studied for 10 years, prepared this book, and brought it back. On the other hand, you have a European who was down with the U.S. Army, who claimed that he got the information from the sky. Think about it. Brother Polight, and anyone else out there, I ask you respectfully, please stop misleading the people. Stop mixing truth with falsehood. Or not. Continue doing what you're doing. The choice is yours. I will leave you with this quote. Do not scheme against people. God will punish accordingly. And that's not what the prophet said. That's from the teachings of Ptah Hotep, Islam.